Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, AJ4P subscribers. Thank you so much for showing all the love. The show's called A Journey for Passion. I'm your host, Tony Mostello. I can't, so many things to go over. I usually try to write the notes on the side and all that. I got so much I want to cover, but real quick, the Facebook page is up. Thank you, Amy, for that, and all of you that have just inspired and shared and done everything. I'm blessed. Like I always tell you in the live videos, and I can't tell you, I'm overwhelmed. It's a lot to keep up with, but that's why I'm doing this. The whole purpose of this channel is to motivate, inspire, help you along, because it's helping me to help you. I'm no better than anybody else here. So, this week, I wanted to be inspired, and I thought about things, people that inspired me in the creative process. And one of the first things that came to mind when I was researching it was Bruce Lee. A lot of you should know Bruce Lee. A lot of the younger crowd might not know who Bruce Lee is, but to give you a real recap on a little bit about Bruce Lee, way beyond his time, very philosophical first and foremost. You would expect me to say martial arts and how well he was and the impact he had on martial arts. But it was his charismatic way of being. It's just when you look at somebody and you see passion and strategy and just willingness in this man's face and his eyes. And one of the interviews they have, you can look it up, and I told a bunch of people on the Facebook page, check out this inspirational video that I found. They put it together with music. They don't do the whole interview with Bruce Lee, but the amazing part of it is the substance of what I want to talk about today. And the interviewer asked him, how do you do what you do? And they're just, again, amazed by what he does. How do you do this? What brings you to that? And what really amazed me was his reply. He said to be formless, empty your mind, be formless, to free your thoughts. And he says shapeless, like water. And at first you're looking at me, what's he talking about? Water. He said, you fill a cup with water, the water in its free-flowing state, it becomes a cup. Fill it with a bottle, it becomes the bottle. It shapes, it forms, encompasses what it's filling. And his last reply to that was, water can flow or water can crash. Be like water, my friend. And I really sat back and I thought about that, and you could see it in his eyes. You just see what he's speaking to you. There's what's behind the man. What's his purpose? And the first thing I did is I went to Google, and I thought, well, first thing I've heard is water is, a certain percentage of your body is water. 60% of your body is made up of water. The liver, the heart, 74, kidneys, 83. Anyway, we need water. We need water first and foremost. Then thinking outside the box again, what's he saying? What we fill ourselves with, we become. The water. We need the water. But sometimes we fill it with other things. And to have the drive we talked about on the last video, your purpose and making it a reality. Well, the reality of that is it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process, and it's to better oneself, to love oneself, to be a part of that. But what are you putting in you? What's in that water? Well, sometimes we have too much of this, too much of that. What do? We water it down. We water it down. We water it down. Why do we water it down? Some people use drugs, alcohol, gambling, whatever vices it may be. But again, be like water. The water becomes the holder, which is you. To let it flow, how would it flow from here? We'd have to fill it with water. That's filling yourself. If I keep pouring that water in its formless shape into this cup, it's going to fill. What's it going to do? It's going to overflow. What's it overflowing with? What are you putting into your mind? The bottom line of what my take on it and what I got out of it, and I learned a lot this week. I'll tell you, there was a lot that went with this. What you put into yourself, I've said it so many times on other shows, and I no one person, no thing is gonna love you or give you what you need but you. That's the bottom line of it. The bottom line of it. So what are you putting in to you? What are you investing in you? And if it's not, like I'm doing here on YouTube, what is it that's going to make you happy, and what are you passionate about in life? You only get one life. What are you going to do with it? What are you passionate about? What are you filling it with? If you're filling it with good, if you want to look at it in a relationship point of view, you need to be right here for you. You need to do that for you. As you put more good into you, that water is going to keep overflowing. What's it overflowing? The goodness. It's going to exude from you. And what does water do then? It flows. The water flows. And whatever is in that water is going to project out. What happens if I got my water here? I take a drink of water. The water goes down. For the sake of explaining the point I'm trying to make. The water goes down. What happens? We get happy. We get level with where we're at. It becomes, we're comfortable now. What happens? The water will sit there. If the water sits too long, how long is it going to go? And you're going to stay on that energy of that water. So here's where the choice comes. Are you going to pour more good water into it? Or are you going to fill that cup with negativity, with a substance, with monetary things, with a car? For relationships, you need to love yourself first. Because once you love yourself first, again, if I keep pouring love into myself, loving myself, that's in your flaws and everything. You have to love yourself. If I keep pouring that water, it's going to overflow. And what's going to overflow is love and kindness and all those things, the things that you want, that you fill yourself with. When you see on the Facebook page or for the channel, all of these affirmations and memes that I put up that are inspiring, that's not just for you, that's for me. And that might sound funny to you, but how many times a day do you put something negative into our own, what we're self-conscious about, what our negativity? How much of that do you put in that you tell yourself? But you see somebody like Bruce Lee, and it's amazing. If you get a chance, watch that video on the Facebook channel, because it goes from that interview to he's got nunchucks and he's playing ping pong and whooping the dog out of these people play ping pong. With the nunchucks, he's hitting it. Skill, precision, mind, body, soul, all focused on that. Watch it, it's amazing. If you don't have to like martial arts. Watch somebody. Back in the day, I had a buddy of mine that could pick up any instrument. Never touched it before. Within 5 minutes, he started playing it. Amazing. It's a gift. We're giving gifts. And I'd look at that and I'd say, man, how's he do that? How's he do it? And he just says, I just do it. And it's what he was passionate about. It's what he could do. It was a gift he was given. A friend of mine today, I was talking about doing a show, and I'll leave their name out, but for those of you who know me, I fished for many years. So I can catch fish, catch salmon all the time. I'm not a salmon fan. I'll eat any other kind of fish. But to get to the point, this person explained to me what they're cooking, and they're grilling it and all this and that. And this plate come out looked like a chef's plate, and it was salmon. And the first thing I said was, I don't care what you do with salmon, I don't like it. But when you looked at this plate, it was so appetizing. This person put this love into this plate. They're putting this into their body. It's grilled. They're watching their weight. They're conscious of that. They're putting good in. So it's grilled and it's lightly this. And she's explaining to me all these seasonings, what she's doing and how she did this and how she did that. By the time that plate come out, I said, maybe I should try salmon again. They said, they tell you it's good for you. I need to practice what I preach as far as my dietary things. I don't follow that. But here's somebody that is conscious and passionate about what they put into their body. And again, back to the water. They say, I don't know the exact, days or whatever it is, but you can go so long without food, but It's a shorter time without water, and without water, you are surely going to die. Or you can leave it halfway full, and what happens? I'll tell you what else water does that Bruce didn't discuss, but I'm sure he's smart enough to know that. If you leave your cup half full, I'm gonna tell you what water does when it sits out. Your body, your everyday things that you're doing, you're burning that. You're burning that water. Doing the least of what you normally do, just going to work doing that, you're depleting that. If you're lying still and that cup is half full, what happens? If you're not going to fill it with nothing, let's say you're not turning to drugs or anything else, that water's going to evaporate. Water will evaporate. So this becomes something. If I poured it, you flow, and water's going to go where it's going to go. It's going to seep into anything. Anybody's had a leak in their house or anything else, that water's going to find a way out. Something so soft, but yet if you jump out of, how many times have you jumped out into a pool, bam, belly flop, you hit that water, it's like cement, it's hard, but as it flows, it's soft. What are you putting in? I can tell you from experience. I'm not a trained psychologist or anything. I can tell you from my life experience, that's all I can do here. And I told you, we're growing together. We learning together. I've fallen short on that. I've replaced other things besides water. And when it all came down to it, medically, I know I need the water, but mentally, I need that flow. So what I'm bringing in, I'm putting out. And people in my everyday life probably gonna think I'm crazy to say, what is that? Well, I have to. It's a process I'm going through. And that's being blunt honest with you. Can I tell you I got it all together all the time? No, I don't. And I'm glad for that. I'm glad for that because I'm gonna learn something. Because when I fall, I'm gonna get back up. Again, if you take water and the water's flowing, you hear people say, don't try to go against the current. What happens? As the water flows, as rain comes down, what does it do? Water forms. It floods the area, and then now this water becomes a surge. What are you putting into yourself? Relationships. Fill that. Love yourself to where that's overflowing. You're going to draw somebody else that's overflowing. That water's going to meet. Your job. Same thing. If you're in a dead-end job where you're not going anywhere, you want to do something, put different water in. You're going to have to. You want something you never had, you're going to have to do something you've never done. As I told you about my friend that cooked this salmon, and I'm looking at that, and it's like, try different things. Take risks. But take good risks. I know personally how many times I've turned to the wrong thing. So I'm not trying to accuse anybody. I'm human nature. As I'm talking to my friend today, I'm explaining to him that, about the water, and first thing she says is, it's taking risks. We connected. We connected on that level of, I see where you're going, try something different, and being good to the body, taking care of the body. You only got one body, too, and one life. That being said, what are you replacing it with? Take a good look at yourself. What are you replacing it with? Because if you're struggling with it, you're here. Love yourself. Toast to you. Fill it with water. Fill it with goodness, what you're going to need. Only you can do that. If you think that money, a person, anything material is going to fill this, no. The only thing it's going to take from this is you, and the only thing it's going to put into it is you. I don't care if you're passionate about anything but just getting to work. You need that. And through that, you're going to grow, you're going to learn, you're going to have a confidence. And when you're overflowing, what happens? That water goes everywhere. Again, I'm going to tell you. And if you're putting negative in, negative is going to go out. You've heard that said. This is common sense stuff, but yet we hear that and we say, oh, that's you know, there's a pill for everything now. There's an ad for this, an ad for that. Everything is instantly given to you. And I'm going to sound dated here or old school ways, but I'm going to tell you, people used to actually have conversations. There were handshakes. Your word meant something. You took time with people. Now, you know, it's instant. You know, we're sharing this, we're sharing that, we're sharing our meals. But how many are you with those people? Are you having those meals? In doing this show, I can tell you one thing I have gained, what I'm so confident about. Not everybody, but quite a handful of people, I've seen a positive and good-hearted person come out. I'm getting to know these people on a more real level. They're looking you in the eye and they're telling you, you know, things that, you know, that you're normally not going to talk about at work or this and that, and really opening up to you. That's what I'm talking about, being real. And what's coming out, you know, is good that I'm hearing. I'm getting to know people on a more personal level. And today, it's, you know, everything is, you know, I got a Facebook page. You can't beat them, you join them. But I'm going to come in and motivate you, man. I'm going to tell you. You can have 50 million likes. How many of those people personally told you and looked you in the eye and told you that? They're just giving you the like because they need the like. Sad, but it's true. But what if you actually had a conversation with somebody and you got to know them? You're around them every day. Or you start talking about something and you see them right away. They go from one mood to they're kind of positive. Start talking to them. Talk about what you're passionate about. Start speaking positive. Love yourself. Fill yourself with water. Another subscriber that I had talked to personally through the week really inspired me. Really inspired me. When I hear people going through life and to know that you're not alone. I'd rather join a cause, a group that's progressing forward, that's flowing. It's flowing good. They're striving, but they're going forward. Water's going to go where it's going to go. You're going to go where you're projecting. What you're putting out, what you're putting into you is going to come out. And to talk to that subscriber and a couple other ones, but one on a more personal level, that's states away. I feel like I know him personally. Hey, there's somebody else that sees more than what the everyday life is. Because there is more. You just have to want it. You have to be like water. Put good in. Keep going. When it starts to deplete, put more in. You find out you don't like that, or you're adding something to the water you don't like that, fill it with something else. You know you're not going to put that in you anymore. Fill it with the good. You have to do that. Then watch your relationships. When you're flowing like that, watch the abundance come to you. Because you're abundant within yourself. You are power within yourself. That same power goes against you. He had a quote, and I wanted to write this down, that, to kind of seal the deal on this. Like I said, talking to that subscriber just really inspired me to come out and free flow with you. Usually I got a board behind me and it's got bullet points and this or that, but I wanted to free flow and be authentic with you. I want you to see my flaws and how I'm speaking, or how I'm trying to stay on the conversation where I'm at, but I want it to be heartfelt, not scripted. But this I wanted to write down and kind of stick this to you right at the end. Like I said, if you watch this video, Bruce Lee, one more time, you see somebody, it's like when you watch, what's the music shows where they come out and they're going to sing, and you see some kid singing opera, you hear this voice come out of it, and they're gifted. You might not like opera, but you see passion exude from these people, and you say, man, that's amazing. It's amazing. Same thing here. Bruce Lee said, people would ask him, Bruce, are you really that good? Basically like what he's doing is, are they staging the fights, or they this or that? And what's amazing is what he said to him. If I told you yes, then you would feel I was boasting. That I had to come forward with that. And basically in a negative sense. But if I told you I was good, you'd know I was lying. And what's he saying there? His actions and what he's doing are going to speak louder than words. There's time to talk, and there's a time to walk. And what he's saying there is, if he was to boast on himself, yeah, I'm that good, I'm that, and that's okay if you want to tell yourself that. But he's being humble in that. Being humble, humility, empathetic, humble, feeling like what he's dedicated and what he's put his mind and his heart and his soul to, and fingertip push-ups. This guy was amazing, physically, mentally, had it together. And I just, that answer, if I told you I was good, then you would think I was boasting. Basically, that you would think I was above you. So, but if I told you I was no good, you'd know I was lying. So what do you want to do? Be like water, my friends. Fill your cup with good things. Let it flow. Be like water. Water can flow, or it can crash. You decide what you're going to do with it. For those of you who've been here for the first time, welcome. I'd ask if you see something on here you like, make sure you comment on the videos. If there's things you want to talk about, reach out to me if you're going through something, because I might be going through it, and I might have walked through it, or maybe there's something you've walked through that's really going to move me. That's what happened today. Like I'm telling you, this person that cooked, and it's in everybody has a different passion. Be humble to that. Accept that. Encourage them. That might not be what you're into, whatever it is. Be it the cooking, be it this or that, but see the variety and passion. It's what makes us different. We were all the same. We don't be all the same. But watch what somebody's passionate about and encourage them in that. And you got to be able to see it in your most negative sense. When you're around somebody that's positive, you got to see that. You got to see a spark or something from them. Encourage them, because they're going to encourage you. And that's basically what this journey for passion is. Encouraging one another. I'm walking through this too. Love y'all, man. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time with me. Thank you for the Facebook page, the accolades. My heart, my water overfloweth. I filled my cup today. I got one here and I got one here. Like, share, subscribe. I love y'all, man. Until next time, Maddie Ray, Poppy loves you. Journey for passion. Peace, love.